Hey everybody, and welcome to the Dante Bazzea Show. Today, we got a special guest, Mr. Ryan Gordon, who is a filmmaker, free runner, and someone who does parkour. We chat all about parkour, free running, and filmmaking in this podcast, and a bunch of other stuff. And Ryan also explains to you guys and to me, because I didn't know this either, the difference between parkour and free running, because it's similar, just like skateboarding and longboarding, but there is a clear difference. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoy the podcast, and please welcome Ryan Gordon. We're rolling.
Ooh.
What's up?
Rolling by the river, rolling, rolling, rolling by the river. Okay, just me. Okay, no, I thought you were going to sing this.
I know that song, I don't know the name of it. That's
Okay.
most songs.
Let's go. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, rolling,
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 rolling by the river.
rolling by the river.
Ow! I'm sorry. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Karaoke.
Karaoke evening with Ryan and Dante. They call it the Ronte evening. The Rontes. Ronte. Cariontes. Yeah.
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 How are you doing?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Just vibing. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty okay.
That's
Feeling
good.
good. Bloated, constipated, got a wart in my butt the size of a walnut, you know, the usual. How are you?
I'm good.
Great.
You've only been doing this for a few seconds, you're already making me laugh.
Ha! Yes. And then this chair's already making me uncomfortable. What? On my butt. I don't have a wart on my butt. I was making jokes.
Okay. I got questions.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Because I write down stuff or I forget stuff.
Fair enough, I do the same. I'll forget my own name if it wasn't attached to my head. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with that. Yeah.
How did you get into parkour / free running? And is there a difference?
Yeah. So I'll start with the first one, how I got into it.
'Cause I don't know which one to name first, I named both. Because they're kind of similar.
Fair enough. I was, like 15, I would say. And I had a PlayStation 2. And I bought Mirror's Edge, which is like a free running parkour game. You're like this really
I've heard of it.
cool chick with it.
Apparently I used to play it.
Yeah.
According to my brother, but I don't remember.
You had a face tattoo, and then you jump, and you know it's like that whole like screw society, we're rebels and jumping on roofs, and I was like, this is so cool. And then I started doing it, and failing all the time on everything. Everything I did, I failed, and then I just carried on failing, and then I stopped failing at some point, and then I started failing other things, and the failing has continued ever since, and that's what parkour is. It's just failing with things.
Like skateboarding, you try and you finally land it.
Exactly.
And you spend so much time learning it, so once you land it, there's no joy.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like 90% failing, and then you carry on failing for that one time that you get, and you feel like adrenaline, you're like, whoa, my life is great, and then you fail the next thing, and you continue failing that. It's an endless loop of failing plus a tiny little injection of catharsis every now and again. It's good stuff.
What's the difference between parkour and free running? Because I mentioned both.
Yeah. So parkour, I don't do that much parkour. Parkour it's getting from point A to point B as quickly as possible. So it's like obstacle courses, you're jumping over things, you're essentially imagining you're running away from people. Whereas free running is more like dancing over objects. It's like creative. You're like, I don't know.
I'm never going to describe it like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like creative movement as opposed to practical movement. You're not trying to get somewhere faster, you're trying to get there and look cool. Do it to some sort of flow rhythm. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Why do you like it?
Why do I like it? I don't know. I am an attention whore, I think, first and foremost. I like people going, wow, that guy's so cool. I love the spotlight. So I do it for validation. I like my validation because I have low self-esteem. So if I do a cool trick, it will compensate for my low self-esteem and make me look cool. Otherwise, I don't know. I guess it's just it's freeing. And I think often I'm in a bad space, and then I'll go, and then it's just brainless jumping, and I don't have to think about my problems. I instead think about trying to get from here to there quickly.
It's the same thing with skating.
Absolutely, it's an escape.
True.
Great.
Because when you're trying, and even if you're doing a trick you've already done before, just trying it, your mind switches like, I gotta land it. I gotta figure out how to do this. So everything else that you had going on in the day, if you had problems with like your parents or whatever,
Absolutely.
all that stuff just fades away. And you're like, I'm gonna try and land this move.
Yeah, I think parkour and skating are very similar in that way. They're both like escapism. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I do have a video idea where I want to get a bunch of parkour guys and a bunch of skaters, and basically just do a video where like a skater does a move, a parkour guy does a similar move, or just something cool. And
yeah, blending of cultures and sports. I like it. Yeah, we should do it. We should definitely do that. It'd be really cool.
Do you qualify parkour as a sport? Because it's kind of the same as skating, where skating is kind of like its own like subculture, but then some people qualify as a sport and some people are anti the competitions and that kind of stuff. For me, I qualify skateboarding more as an activity than a sport.
Yeah. It's a good question, actually. Personally, not really. It's like a lifestyle or like a culture more than a sport. The same way skating is, you know, yeah, it's a community culture based teamwork, fun, learning activity, and it's based in like, I mean, I think a sport is based in rules and like guidelines, regulations, and competition. Parkour is not in the same way as skating is. It's not based in competition at all. It's all about freedom and expression. It's similar to dance and skating. They're all like expression and freedom and community. So maybe I wouldn't base it as a sport, I suppose. Yeah, but it's a good question. Good observation.
Well, skating, there's so many different ways to do it, unlike other sports like soccer where there's only one way to do it.
Absolutely.
For skating, there's vert skaters, there's street skaters, there's freestyle skaters, you like spins and stuff.
Literally. How can you bit rules to... it's like an art form. It's like, how can you bit rules to that? It's not possible. It's too big.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Have you ever been kicked out by security guards or like just random people moaning at you for parkouring at places?
Yes, I have. So many times. I have, yeah. I spent a night almost in jail once because I was climbing on my auntie's roof and the police thought I was breaking in and they arrested me. I have the unfortunate dilemma of being a parkour athlete with dyslexia. And it's problematic because people put signs on buildings saying what they are, and then dyslexics don't read them and then climb on them. So the one time I got into trouble for climbing the law enforcement building because I had no law enforcement, police building, police department, because I didn't read police. The big sign, I was climbing next to the sign that said police department, and I was just like climbing the wall, and I was pretty happy until they all came out and arrested me. So if you have dyslexia, read this. Don't climb on police buildings.
Just don't.
Yeah, no, it's not a good combination. Yeah.
Do you ever get like random people who like technically don't have the right to kick you out to kind of do it? Because I get that sometimes with skating.
All the time. You always get that like granny who comes with a stick and she's like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, anyway, that's my sound effects for how that situation goes. Yeah.
I've had weird ones.
Yeah, what are yours?
Like just up the road, just skating. Instead of the lady being nice and asked me to get off my board, she like yelled at me, "Get off your board," because she was like walking her dog and the dog didn't like the noise. But she says it in a way that's like rude.
Yeah, I mean that's it's like a thing. Like, I don't know, kids having fun. We're just doing stuff. We're not like, you know.
At least we're not on the computer all day.
Exactly. You should be encouraging adventure and creativity and playing around, and experimenting, not like shouting at them.
It's kind of weird. Like sometimes just because you're doing these weird things, they think of you as like not human for some reason.
Yeah, we're these edgy, vagrant teenage kids who go and vandalize property. I suppose that the kids have always been doing that stuff, and we complain that we're not doing that stuff in this generation, and then you complain that we do that stuff in this generation sometimes. Some of us. We're the evil, edgy ones.
You never win.
Yeah, no.
It's like people are moaning that kids play too many video games.
Yeah.
But in the future, no one's really going to care, and there'll be some other new thing that the parents will be like, they shouldn't be doing that.
Exactly.
And then the cycle's going to continue and continue for the end of eternity.
Every generation once went, kids these days, honestly.
Read too much.
Yeah, these children, they're not like the old, they don't make them like they used to. Every single generation. I'm sure I will when I'm old too.
You're gonna murder your kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna rock that though. I'm gonna be that old dude who pretends he's a little bit senile and crazy, so he can get away with stealing candy from the Pucky store, you know. And then he'll like walk around. I'll have like little nitros on my wheelchair, and I'll be like, like beat up children, mow them down in my like old folksy Beetle. That's my dream.
So that's describing a good idea for a cartoon.
Yeah, that's what I want to be when I grow up. I'm going to hit 80 and I'm going to peak. Kids peak in high school. I'm going to peak at 80 and I'm going to abuse children. I should maybe, keep it in. It's fine.
Oh, wait, was I able to edit this out?
Nah. You can call me a child abuser. I'm not one yet, but when I'm 80, I will be one.
You might forget it. So that happened.
Yeah, I probably will when I'm 80. I don't have a great memory.
How important are shoes when doing parkour? I recently found out that you actually get parkour shoes.
Yeah, that's a good question. Super important. Not always super healthy. I definitely think people should at least start without shoes. It's good for the feet and teaches you better balance and stuff like that. However, a good pair of shoes will change your whole life. Like, doing parkour and these things wouldn't work very well.
You don't like skate shoes.
Yeah. I suppose it would probably be the same for skating. Like a pair of skate shoes will make... Would it make a difference? A huge difference to your skating? Yeah.
Well, the main thing with skate shoes is it's the sole that's different. And they put stitchings around, like... Because you're scraping each time you do a trick, they put, like, special stitching and, like, material... Especially around where your toes are, because that's where it normally rips.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, it is a thing. I think.
I heard that you buy some parkour shoes overseas and you had the idea of maybe being like a distribution person for parkour shoes.
I have a friend, his name is Kevin, he's a trucker. He's like 50. And
so you have trucker's tan?
Yeah, he's got the trucker's tan, he's like an all-American trucker man. He has an American flag outside his house. He's one of those guys. But when he comes back, I'm going to order like a couple pairs of parkour shoes. Come back and take them and sell them for way more than they're worth.
What's the brand's name?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's like no obstacle or something. No obstacle shoes. Which doesn't make sense to me because they're for obstacles. So if there's no obstacles, you wouldn't need shoes for them. It's pretty stupid. Anyway, I didn't name the shoes. If I had, I would have made them something like more obstacles. Something.
Our brand names are kind of dumb.
Oh, straight up. Yeah, I mean, Comb Books.
What?
Not a good brand. Don't name your brand after Comb. Or like Welcome Glen. I know that's not a brand, that's a street. But who the hell is Glen? I was in Welcome Glen earlier, that's why it was really irritating.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on people doing technical parkour tricks like flips and stuff and like flowy lines versus people that do big stuff like Don Tomato?
Another good question. Damn you, sir. I don't have thoughts in terms of other people. For me, I don't like big ones. I'm a fairly safe person and I want to continue doing parkour when I'm like 60, and that won't happen if I take big impacts and break my legs. So I like more flowy technical stuff. Personally, having said that, I have a lot of respect for the dudes who will do 5-story front flips or things. I wish I could. I wish I had the bravery for it. I just don't. I'm not going to try and justify my lack of bravery by saying it's a choice. I'm just a very naturally safe person, I think. Yeah.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bad thing if you want to progress.
It is. It can be, yeah. But then you just learn to do your small things really cool. And then they call you, like, style master or something.
Which one do you prefer watching?
I actually enjoy watching the flow stuff more. It's kind of interesting to see what a person can do with a very simple, like, terrain. Even with skating as well. Like, I like watching the simple technical stuff. I don't need to see a guy do a flip over 10 flights of stairs. But if you can, like, find an interesting way to do a rail thingy, then I'll be impressed. I'll be like, cool, this guy's got creativity.
I'm the same when it comes to skating.
Yeah.
Another time, well, this is what I've learned with skating, is with the people that do like big stuff, like big handles or big stairs, half the time they're just going bigger and bigger, but they end up doing the same trick over and over again.
Pretty much, yeah.
Compared to the other guys who like try and flip into a grind and then flip out.
Yeah.
That's like much harder to do. It takes longer, but I do think that like these guys are doing big stuff is important because that's the kind of clips that are going to go viral on like Instagram and introduce people to the sport and that kind of stuff.
Definitely, we need both.
Sure.
I wish I could be a big dude, but I'm not. I'm a small technical man. I roll off things and do little breakdancing moves in the grass. And can't do that in front of us.
As long as you're having fun.
As long as I'm having fun, that'd be the thing.
Yeah.
Same with you, I assume.
True.
Yeah.
When I look at the list of my favorite skaters, most of them are the guys who do technical stuff.
Yeah.
There's only one guy that I like who does big stuff. His name's Aaron Homoki. His nickname is Jaws.
Okay, that's quite a nickname.
Yeah. Well, the reason I like him is because he does do stairs, but he like goes up roofs and stuff.
Oh damn. Yeah, if they can find a way to creatively apply big things, then I have a lot of respect.
It's like he does grab tricks off it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
people
that's
diss
so
him
cool.
for, but I don't care.
Yeah.
It looks cool to me.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool if you can combine creativity with bravery. It's like an ultimate flex right there.
True. He's the guy who ollied the most stairs, 25 stairs.
Okay.
He did that set in France, the one that Dom Tomato did.
Yeah.
He did it first, and then Dom was like, "This guy did it, I'm gonna try."
Well, I'm also gonna be a big person.
I'm gonna try with the outer vehicle.
Yeah, that man. I think he's in Cape Town at the moment, Dom Tomato. Yeah, I haven't seen him yet. I'm going around to
I saw clips.
Yeah, I was gonna go hang out with him, jam with all the other parkour people in the valley, and then missed the one because I was working, and then the next one he was meant to go to, and then he got COVID. Loser.
Okay.
Yeah, one loser. Weak immune system.
He's probably happy he just gets to chill for one day.
Exactly. Wish I had COVID. I could not work for a while. Shh. Don't show my boss this.
Because what I heard is he has to post a clip every day on Instagram.
Yeah.
I guess Red Bull ain't giving a paycheck for nothing.
Pretty much. Imagine, I would die. I'd post on Instagram like once a year for people's birthdays.
What's your thoughts on gymnastics trying to take over parkour?
Another good question. Damn it.
Why are you saying damn it? Because you gotta think.
I have to think. Okay, so good for parkour, bad for me. Kind of. It builds the name of parkour. Some parkour people can make money off it, and all that stuff. So I can see, and they can introduce competitions, and all the best people can, like, actually have a career and a legacy of some kind. As for me in my house, I'm scared it's going to somehow tamper with that sense of community and that kind of edgy vagabond lifestyle of the parkour man. Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a thing that we have to adjust to. It's maybe dangerous gymnastics people teaching parkour, I would say. That's something they have to watch out for. Yeah, and standardizing and adding rules to your movement, like we were talking about earlier with like skateboarding, parkour. It's not really competition worthy. It's more of an art form. So adding rules to an art form is dangerous. It's happened to other art forms throughout history, and they've all kind of collapsed in on themselves. Let me think.
If you remember.
I don't know. I'm not much of a historian.
Neither am I.
Yeah.
I find history boring at school.
Google art forms that have collapsed.
And write in the comments.
Yeah. You write in the comments. Tell me which ones have failed, and you can also probably prove me wrong. I might be wrong. I'm not that smart.
Wouldn't it be a problem if gymnastics over because all like the gymnastics that has to be like perfect compared to parkour?
Yeah.
You don't do everything perfect.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like, our form is terrible. We just do stuff. We're like, I wonder what would happen if you hit this rail at this angle and then you bounced off it and then landed on the ground and then missed the car. Whereas gymnastic is like, this equals this math. I'm not good at math. I'm terrible at math. So I do parkour. So
I also suck at maths.
Yeah, don't give me math in my parkour. It's my arts are creative it. I don't want to math it. I'm not a math addict.
True.
Yeah.
So you think it's a good thing or a bad thing or both?
Both. 50-50.
It's kind of the same thing how I feel about skateboarding in the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's good for the sport because more people are going to see it and skaters will finally get paid what they deserve. But it's also kind of bad because in a way that everything's going to like have rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for the sport, bad for the culture.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it is a thing. Interesting times we live, actually.
True. Who knew skateboarding would be an Olympic sport?
Plot twist. Didn't see that one coming. The writers really ran out of ideas on that one.
Yeah, they needed a cool factor.
Yeah. They're all like, damn.
No one cared about swimming anymore.
Our main character's gotten stagnant. What do we write for the sequel? Damn it, we're going to have to make skateboarding an Olympic sport. It's like making Fast and the Furious a spy movie. They just ran out of ideas and needed to freshen up the brand.
I say Fast and Furious is just Expendables with cars.
Literally. Now, don't get me wrong, and don't anybody who studies film. I'm so sorry. I beg your forgiveness on this, but I love Fast and the Furious. It's like my favorite. You just like cliff bald men doing stupid things in cars off cliffs with explosions. Cars go boom.
And they're funny.
Exactly. It's just lots of testosterone, and then bald men. You know kung fu. What more could you want in life? What more could you want in cinema? Film people, I'm sorry.
It's a good business they've done.
Oh, straight up, yeah. And then Hobbs and Shaw, what happens when you put two angry bald men with short man syndrome into one room against another angry bald man? You get Hobbs and Shaw. I love it.
Yeah.
Quality.
I only have one problem with Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, yeah?
They hype up Idris Elba's character, I forgot who his actual name is.
Yeah.
Names don't matter.
Cyborg dude.
They call him Black Superman.
Mm.
Is that he's supposed to be like this powerful guy, but yet again, Hobbs and Shaw could still beat him.
Yeah. So either Hobbs and Shaw are so badass they can defeat Black Superman, Idris Elba himself, or I don't know, they just was badly written. But it was entertaining at least, I suppose.
The stunts were good.
Yeah, they were good.
Apparently for the next Fast and Furious they're going to space.
I'm down for that, all the way. 10 out of 10.
And they're planning a crossover with Jurassic World.
Yeah, I heard about that. I really want them to do that.
The crossover I want is them to cross over with Transformers.
Transformers?
Because with Transformers is the robots are cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But for some reason they're sending the movies around the humans, which are boring.
It's the ultimate story crossover. Imagine
so add the Fast and Furious characters and then you got entertaining robots and entertaining humans.
Literally, dude. Hobbs and Shaw fighting Transformer Decepticons. Well, like, I can just picture, like, what's his name? Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like, dual wielding his machine guns on top of Optimus Prime's head as Optimus Prime stabs a Makuta or whatever his name is in the face. And then Dwayne The Rock Johnson just jumps off him and, like, machine guns his face. And then Hobbs does some, like, parkour over the Transformer and blows up its engine or something. I don't know, something cool like that. I would be so down for that. Let's do it. And then the Jurassic Park dinosaur comes in and just destroys all the Decepticons. I don't know. I got way too excited there.
Just get crazy.
Yeah. I'm so down.
Well, Fast and Furious are the kind of movies you watch them, you enjoy them, but you don't go back to them.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, like a Fast and the Furious marathon, you can never go wrong with that.
I've never done that.
I recommend it. It's good stuff.
Won't get your brain crazy.
Yeah, you won't come out the same, man. You'll lose some brain cells in the process, but in a good way.
That's dodgy.
Yeah. A risk worth taking.
Okay. You got crazy there.
I did. I was very down for that conversation topic.
Didn't even know how that came. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Talk about getting sidetracked. I think I was here to talk about parkour, but no, Transformers.
Hey, my podcast, you can talk about anything.
There we go. Cool.
Which movie do you think has the best parkour scene? You can name a few movies that pops in your head.
That's difficult. Johnny English 2. That
I've never seen that movie.
the chase scene between when Johnny English chases that like mafia dude, and he uses his ugly wisdom to defeat the parkour guy, and the parkour guy will like do a backflip over some scaffolding and jump down like a 10-story high building, and then he'll like walk into the elevator and do it at the same speed. That was
Sounds like you're naming the scene from
straight up, or
James Bond.
literally, or The Office. Hardcore parkour was great, perfect scene. This is like
That's
James
probably the
Bond.
most viewed parkour scene.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite. And I like that James Bond scene with Sebastian Falcon doing his big jumps. That was pretty cool. 6 Underground had some good scenes. Yeah,
Not a very good movie.
not a very good movie, but some cool scenes in it.
And the story guys were good in there.
Yeah.
They directed, they came up with most of the ideas themselves.
Yeah, you can tell because the movie was bad and those scenes were good.
It's kind of funny that they used one clip from their videos in the movie.
Yeah, I know, it's so bad.
It was so out of place because it was a POV shot.
It's so cheap.
I mean, it could have
Absolute
worked
cheap
if there was other POV shots, but there wasn't.
Yeah. No, they just like so cheap. Lazy people. Lazy filmmakers.
Yeah. That's what happens when you give a director too much creative freedom.
Exactly. They just don't even film their own stuff. They just use clips from somebody else's. Nice.
Because Michael Bay is a good director when it comes to action, but all the other movies he's done, like Transformers and Bad Boys, he's always held back. Like there's things he can't do.
For
But
good
Netflix,
reason.
yeah, but Netflix is just like, here's a bunch of money, go do what you want. He's like, okay, I want Ryan Reynolds, I want these random guys, just bring these powerful guys and let's just go crazy.
He really went. It's like a crackhead put into film. It's like if the film was on crack. I loved it. It was very interesting.
They call it Bayism.
Bayism, yeah.
It's so cool movie.
To a line of Bay.
It had a good soundtrack.
It did have a good soundtrack.
How did he get into filmmaking?
I don't know. I just kind of started one day. I think.
I just kind of started one day.
Yeah. So I met
Good
this.
start.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even remember. I think there was this lady, I think would be a better term, named she called herself Naturally Ready, and she was a hairdresser, and she cut people's hair, and she wanted somebody to film a YouTube tutorial of her cutting hair. So she asked me, and I filmed for a little bit, made like edited little tutorial videos for her. And
Did you
then,
get paid?
No, like a little bit, not much. She was a very eccentric lady, and it never really, like, so her hair salon was like hairdressing, but then they also drank wine while they were cutting their hair. So,
Fancy.
yeah, except they would all get really drunk, and then they would all be very proud of their hair on the day, and then the next day they would phone her back and be like, "Why have I got pink hair? Why is my haircut completely skewed?" So it was funny from the perspective of all the haircuts were crazy because they were all drunk when they got the haircuts and made many bad decisions. From there, I met this dude named Greg Copeland, who decided he was going to film the thing off the border of Namibia. It was like a 5-day little adventure, and he took me along because I could do parkour. So I was going to run the race along with the person, with the runners, with the GoPro. Yeah, and then that was a lot of fun. It was quite a crazy adventure. There was a lot of drugs in there, but I was never really into the drugs. But the adventure was crazy and fun. And then after that, I was like, well, if your whole life is just traveling and crazy stuff and adventure, then who wouldn't want that life? So then I started studying film. And then plot twist, the guy who studied film decided to do writing instead. And now I'm a dyslexic screenwriter. Plot twist of note.
Why did you want to study film?
So originally it was because I wanted to have adventures and live a very full life and travel and see a bunch of different things and meet a lot of interesting people. And film seemed like a good output for that. But then I started getting into very much the creative side of it, and now my job is mainly writing. It just happened. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, so the motivations changed over the years, I think.
Since you brought up the writing, I know you've sold some scripts. So how did you get into writing, and how did you manage to sell scripts? Because that's pretty impressive. Well done.
Yeah, I don't know. So selling the scripts isn't nearly as impressive as it sounds, I'm afraid.
That's most things.
Yeah. Studios or companies like to buy stories so that they can't get made in case they want to make them sometime in the future. They don't really intend to ever make them, they just don't want to let other people make them. So they make sure they buy all the stories with any potential so that they have just sitting on them. So they own it. They want to own as much creative property as possible.
That's Disney.
Yeah, literally. So they'll just buy whatever they can get their hands on that has any sort of potential, and they'll pay you next to nothing, and then you don't own the rights to it. And then even if you do keep your script, but you get some other company to help you make it, then they own the rights to your script or your story. Or if they get another company to distribute it, they still own the rights, and then you don't even own your own artwork, even though you're credited as the artist. It's crazy. So, moral of the story: don't sell your scripts to companies. Yeah. What was the other question? How did I get into writing?
Yeah.
I was dyslexic as a kid, and my mom always believed that in order to get me to learn how to read, I had to have a love of stories. So she always was very careful to read to me and give me lots of stories and tell me lots of stories. So I would fall in love with storytelling first. And then because I liked storytelling so much, I learned how to read. That was a strategy, which meant that I grew up knowing stories really well and really enjoying stories. And then when I started in film, I realized that it was the same as the books I'd read, only visual. And there was no real difference between them. And that I just understood it really well. So then for a project, I think I had to write a short script, a 1-minute script. And I got really good marks, and I really enjoyed it, and it came out really well. And I was like, damn, this is actually really satisfying and fulfilling. And I can actually say some important things and change lives, or I don't know, tell important stories through this. So I was just I don't know, it made my heart whenever I wrote something I was proud of. So that's, I think, why I do it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Could you say how much you get off a script, the general amount? You don't have to say the exact amount, but what's the general amount if you don't mind sharing?
For a short film, 500. Not even. For anything over
Feature
it
length?
really depends on the company and the film. Maybe a couple of thousand. Sometimes if you're lucky. I've never written a feature film, so I don't know how much that would cost. I've only written short film scripts. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I always find it crazy how much movie budgets are. Because there's so many people involved.
Yeah.
You have to pay actors, you have to pay stunt doubles, camera guys, director, sound guys, the lighting.
Oh yeah.
Just people who like bring people coffee. They need some pay.
Salaries. Then there's catering and transport and equipment, and there is paying for permits for locations, and signing off on documents. And
there's so much.
There's just, I mean, my first short film, I had one actor. My location was a caravan. I had 3 crew members, so it shouldn't have cost a lot of money. It ended up costing $5,000 because of transport and crew and permits. It's crazy.
What do you do when you try and get people to sponsor, like companies to sponsor, like put like little ads in your films, that kind of thing?
Ah, yes.
Because I know you had a match company that was in one of your films.
It's all about hustling. So this isn't technically my job because I'll direct and write. I have a producer who essentially organizes this, but she'll approach, for instance, Woolworths, and she'll phone the manager or the head of whatever, and she'll be like, if you give me all your clothing, I will put banners up outside my set, and I will do this and that, and there'll be a Woolworths logo somewhere in the credits, and in exchange you give me clothing and you pay me so I can make this film. And that's sort of like, you just do that with as many companies as possible. And then it's a matter of how to write it in, because it's quite a controversial subject, whether it's okay to have product placement. Like, a lot of people didn't like Transformers because product placement was in every.
Yeah, but sometimes it's product placement. It's fine if you can't notice that it's in there.
Like
the way Transformers does it, like sometimes they'll pan to a billboard and then show the billboard for like 5 seconds, and then a Transformer will smash through it.
Exactly.
Or like in Fast and Furious, the guys about to open a beer, and then Vin Diesel's character's like, have a Corona, it's better. Like,
yeah.
If it's not noticeable, then it's fine.
Yeah. I actually really like the overt ones, the crazy ones. Like, I think it was Kingsman was really funny, where the bad guy invited the main character for this like fancy banquet, and then pulled out this like McDonald's meal and was like, bon appetit. It's better than any banquet ever. Have a happy meal. And it was so like ridiculous that I was like, yes, I love this. I really respected them for that. Yeah.
How do you do it to not make it seem like there's an ad in the middle of your film? Because that sometimes can take away from you actually trying to enjoy it.
That's true. I'm trying to think. My last film, was there any product placement in my last film? Yeah, there was actually. There was matches. Actually, you mentioned that earlier. When I think about it, Melbros or Elbows matches. I can't remember. Or Elbows matches. Anyway, it was a stop motion. We had a scene in the film where a stop motion character had to. What? Yeah. In the film, this character, there was like a whole metaphor. It was this character who's trying to kind of find his place in the world, and he had like abandonment issues and rejection issues, and he meets these like 2 stoners who sit him down and kind of accept him, and then tell him stories, but each story they tell goes into we go into the story, and there'll be different stop motions and animations for every story they tell, and the one story was this match that one of the stoners had lit, and it was burnt and it had run out of its purpose was over because it had been lit, and then this match became a stop motion and had to find a new purpose or a new reason to exist, and went on this whole little adventure, met a whole bunch of other matches and found its purpose, basically, which is a metaphor for this kid's journey. So we found a match company that could sponsor the matchbox. So they paid us, and when the guy lit the match, there was the matchbox logo there. So that's how we kind of went about it. Yeah.
It's a cool idea for a film.
Yeah.
Where can people watch it I'll link it in the description.
It's not out yet. It won't be out for a while.
Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my editor is the same editor who is also doing the music videos that I work on and the adverts that I work on. So she's busy editing that plus 5 different music videos. She's working very hard. So I don't know when it will come out. Yeah.
Okay. What are your favorite movies?
Where does one begin? And also, I'm going to get a lot of flack from the film dudes here. Fast and the Furious, obviously. Lord of the Rings, yeah, obviously. Not really Star Wars. Never really got.
I haven't been much into Star Wars, though I liked the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian was.
Because it was different.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Mandalorian. Obviously, Lord of the Rings, always. Then there's some like art house films like I really enjoyed on Netflix. It's called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Love that. All the slightly wonky, surrealistic films. Like, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, or like Being John Malkovich was amazing.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, wacky. Just they disappear into.
But I like the director who made that.
Yeah. He disappears into John Malkovich's brain, and then they just.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It was weird.
Love it. Or like Lobster was great. And then there's like White Tom Beyond and Children of Men and all that guy stuff. What else? There's so many good films out there.
Any animated films?
I Lost My Body on Netflix. I watched that the other day. I really loved it.
You told me to watch that, and I still haven't. And
Yeah.
I think that was like you said that 2 years ago.
And then Soul.
There's too many stuff to watch.
I loved Soul. Soul was
I like
great.
Soul too.
Very deep. Yeah.
Soul was the first animated movie that won 2 awards at the Oscars.
I know, and I'm proud of it. It deserved it. It was so good.
Yeah. It won for Best Animated Feature, and then it won for Best Sound Design.
First time I watched that movie, cried. Another animated movie that I cry on every time I watch it is Treasure Planet, the one with that skater dude in space, and he meets his father, who's a cyborg.
I haven't seen Treasure Planet.
Yeah, that one was like super sad. Love that movie. Yeah.
Some of my favorite movies: Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Ooh, amazing film. Love it.
I have a poster on my wall.
Nice. Respect. I agree with you on that one.
Hot Rod.
Hot Rod.
Have you seen it?
I don't think so.
You need to watch it. It's hilarious.
Okay.
You know Andy Samberg?
Yeah, of course.
It's his movie.
Okay.
It's about a stuntman, but he's bad.
I'm intrigued.
What?
I feel like I'd enjoy that.
Yo, it's funny.
Yeah. Okay, I'll check it out. Hot Rod.
Disturbia.
Disturbia. Also don't know that.
Shia LaBeouf's in it. He's a teenager, he's on house arrest, and then he gets bored, so he starts spying on his neighbors, and he ends up finding out that one of the neighbors is evil. That's what I'm going to give away.
Okay, I'm going to have to check that out. Sounds intriguing. Damn. Okay, what else is there?
I don't know, there's so many movies, and your taste changes over years.
That is very true. My favorite movies this month are completely different to the ones last month.
If I have to name an action comedy, I'm going to go with Bad Boys for Life.
Don't think I've seen that either.
That's Bad Boys 3.
Bad Boys. Bad Boys.
What you
gonna
gonna
do?
What you gonna do when they come for you?
Yeah, good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's on Netflix. You should watch it.
Will do. I've seen the first one.
You haven't seen the second one?
No, not yet.
They get better.
Okay, cool.
Well, the cool thing about Bad Boys 3 is the main problem I have with action comedies is there's 3 things I need to get right. You know, good action, story needs to be good enough, doesn't need to be amazing,
Definitely.
and it needs to be funny.
Yeah.
But these movies always get one thing wrong. Like Rush Hour. The action's good, it's funny, the story sucks.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Even though I like Jackie Chan, the story sucks.
Always, yeah.
But with Bad Boys 3, the comedy, the action, and the story are all good.
I mean, I don't know many films that get all of those right, so I might have
That's
to check
the one
it
that
out.
gets it all right in my opinion.
Damn, okay. That's incentive. I'm going to have to go watch that.
What else is a movie that's good? I can think of that I like. I've always liked Incredibles.
Incredibles. Loved the first one. Didn't really care for the second one.
I thought the second one was better.
Really?
Besides the villain.
I thought it was like the same story almost. It was like very similar.
It was kind of the same. The roles were kind of switched.
Yeah, there was like a feminist aspect. There was like a political agenda.
Yeah.
I think that's what threw me.
But nonetheless, it was entertaining.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, it was a entertaining film. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? I can't name. There's too many to name.
There's so many. There are millions and millions and millions and millions of films out there. I could never let me name them all.
And then you've got TV shows as well.
Oh, don't even get me started on TV shows.
Yeah, we can.
That's a
We can
dangerous.
move around from here because
That's a dark hole that we'll never escape.
I was going to end up being a 9-hour podcast.
Yeah, this podcast will never end if we start talking about TV series.
Yeah. Favorite directors?
I like Alfonso Cuarón.
I have no clue who that is.
I like Take a Wet Titty, as I like to call him.
I'm saying his name wrong.
Yeah, Take a Wet Titty.
It's Taika Waititi.
Take a Wet Titty.
He has a new movie coming out soon.
Yeah, I heard. It's like a weird cult movie. I'm very excited for it.
That's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh, right? Is there 2 movies coming out soon?
I suppose he has 2 coming out then.
Damn.
The one I'm talking about is Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, the video game movie where the guy's in a video game world but doesn't know he's in one.
I haven't even heard of that. I'll have to check out. Is there a trailer out there?
Yes, it's been postponed so many times because of COVID and now it's finally coming out.
Damn, I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's the first movie since Deadpool that Ryan Reynolds has been excited about.
Hectic. Okay, I'm gonna definitely have to check that out. Damn. Okay. What else is there?
I'll talk about directors.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask you about directors.
I don't know my directors very well. What's that dude that directed Twin Peaks? I'm not a huge cinephile, so I don't know my directors well.
Alright.
Then you?
I like this duo, Phil and Chris Miller, they're the guys who did Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, the Lego movie, 21 Jump Street, those.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
What else? I mentioned him earlier because you mentioned being John Malkovich.
Mm-hmm.
None of his movies are my favorites. I just like him because he came from skateboarding, which I think is cool.
I didn't know that about him.
To see someone who... I just like people who start somewhere, but then end up having a career somewhere else and they get so famous in that avenue that half the people that know about them don't know that they came from somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is Spike Jonze.
Spike Jonze is
Yeah, he directed Being John Malkovich.
Yeah, I love Spike Jonze.
Where the Wild Things Are, Her.
Her was amazing.
Yes, it was. He won Best Screenplay.
Yeah, I loved her.
Yeah,
I cried during a lot of movies.
Emotional guy.
Yeah, super.
Her was a great movie.
It was so emotional. Made me feel so alone. I low-key fell in love with the AI myself. And I will admit that openly.
It's okay.
It is what it is.
Well, he came from skateboarding and he still... The cool thing is he did all his Hollywood stuff, but he always came back and did skate stuff.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for that.
Like, it's cool that he never left his roots.
Absolutely.
Because he used to work for a company called World Industries, which was the biggest skateboard company at one point.
Oh, hectic.
Which was owned by pro skater Rodney Mullen and...
I did not know that.
And this other guy, Steve Rocco. And he was their personal photographer.
Damn.
And then Rodney was like, can you film? I want to make a skate video. He was like, no. So he just gave him money for a camera and then the rest is history.
Damn.
And then he went on to made a video called Video Days, which is known as one of the best skate videos.
I've heard of that move, actually.
What? Video Days?
Yeah. I've heard people talk about it.
That's fine.
Never seen it. But yeah, damn.
Another guy is in that video who started with skateboarding as a career outside, Jason Lee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a
Didn't
pro
know that.
skater and then he retired at 21 because when he was pro, no one really made it far in skating as career-wise.
Hectic.
So he went on to do acting and...
You learn something new every day, I guess.
That is true. And with Spike Jonze, he's done lots of skate films where he...
Yeah, I've noticed that actually. It makes sense now that I think about it. That he comes from a skating background.
Yeah, well, he's one of the co-owners of Girl Skateboards in the Kai footwear.
Hectic. Yeah, man's versatile.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about him is he brings all his Hollywood connections to skate videos.
Yeah.
Like for the intro of one of the videos, they did these stunts where they blew up with people skating as they were skating it. Like as the guy landed, the stairs exploded.
Oh, damn. I haven't seen that, but damn.
I'll show you that once we're done here.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like he brings Hollywood stuff. Like he did a thing where people skate they skated these green boards and then they call it the invisible boards, so they do all their tricks and it was green screened out.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually pretty clever.
He does these cool things.
That is cool. Yeah.
Another director I like is Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright's pretty cool.
He does a lot of cool stuff like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
I loved Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite movies.
That movie is one of the best skate scenes in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, like, that one scene was so cool. Just everything about it was badass. Can you do a thingy on that rail? Yeah, great film.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it captured the whole, like, that whole, like, teen garage band, angsty video gamer thing. I don't know. I felt like that movie understood me.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's an animated Scott Pilgrim short.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's more based on the video game.
Okay.
It's called Scott Pilgrim vs. the Animation.
I'll have to check that out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there's lots of random stuff out there.
Yeah.
They can stop making content and never run out of stuff.
That is true. It's dangerous. It's infinite void.
Yeah.
Content.
There's one guy I'm surprised you didn't mention when you mentioned your favorite directors.
Oh yeah?
Because I know you like Soul and you probably like Inside Out.
Yeah, I did enjoy Inside Out. Forget his name though.
Pete Docter.
Pixar
guy.
I'm not super familiar with the Pixar directors. I know more of the foreign art house directors who are all like
snobby.
Metaphor.
And Martin
This man rubbing the war is a metaphor for broken dreams and society's disruption of the international distribution. I'm just making up stuff at this point. I don't know. I'm not. Yeah.
Well, you didn't mention people like Quentin Tarantino or Martin Scorsese or Spielberg.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Quentin Tarantino. His foot fetish freaks me out a little bit.
Well, he has a foot fetish.
Straight up, yeah. It's the same guy I'm thinking of. Yeah, Quentin Tarantino freaks me out. Who are the other? Martin Scorsese. Don't know his stuff that well.
Neither do I.
Being honest.
What I know is he's directing a movie about Mike Tyson's life.
Okay, damn. That sounds interesting. And then who was the other one?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg. Yes, I have a lot of respect for Steven Spielberg. But as far as I know, he doesn't direct that many movies anymore.
He has a musical coming out soon.
He mainly produces, co-directs. Yeah. All right.
So he's produced on the Transformers stuff and Disturbia and
yeah. I have many friends who worship him. They want to be Spielberg when they grow up. I don't want to be Spielberg when I grow up.
Spielberg's daughter is also a director.
Damn.
But not the
normal
type.
Mm. Oh. Ooh. There's a whole another conversation topic for you.
She directs porn.
Yeah, I got you.
Just a bit weird, nice.
Yeah, creative content. Very original stuff. Very artistic.
There's a meme going around and that got announced.
Oh yeah?
That's going to be the artsiest porn.
Yeah, very artsy porn. Okay, like proper. I wonder if it's foreign just for the sake of being foreign. Just British. Like Gaspar Noé's Love, only more porny somehow.
I'm also not a huge fan of Spielberg, but if you know he's behind a movie, you know it's going to be good or at least entertaining.
Yeah, he's very consistent in his.
That's true.
Yeah, you're going in there knowing that it's going to be an entertaining watch.
One thing I like about him is one of the few guys that dabbles in live action and in animation.
I love that. He's very versatile.
He directed that Tintin movie.
Mm.
He's one of the co-founders of DreamWorks.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff, and every movie's sort of got its own different experimental element. So I respect that.
Yeah. The only other two guys I can mention on the top of my head that also have also got animation is what's his name now? It's too many people's names to remember.
There's a lot of them.
What's his name? Tim Burton.
I love Tim Burton. I love his animations.
Yeah.
Claymations.
And what's the other guy's name? I can't say his name correctly. I'll get his name wrong. Guillermo del Toro or whatever.
Guillermo del Toro.
He also does animation.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He has a show on Netflix called Troll Hunters, which is cool.
I think he's also one of my favorites, probably.
And he has his stop motion Pinocchio movie coming out.
I'm very excited about that. Can't wait. It's going to be good.
R-rated.
Yeah.
He's doing the proper story because a lot of people actually don't know the proper fairy tales because Disney's always
before it was
Disney-fied.
Yeah, where he smashes his cricket with a sledgehammer. I did that with my conscience too a long time ago. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Since we brought up animation and I wrote down this question because this is one thing I like about you, is even though you're in the filmmaking world, one thing I like about you is that you also treat animation as film and cinema and that kind of thing.
So from
because a lot of people think of it as like childish stuff, or they don't treat it like its own, like they don't even treat it as own medium. They kind of call animation like a genre, which is 100% not.
So from a screenwriting point of view, film and animation look exactly the same on paper.
That is true.
Except with animation, you can do all sorts of things that film can't. You don't have money to do. Like film, you can't have a zombie chicken destroying the world. Whereas in animation, you can, because you can just animate it. So there's a lot of freedom in animation that you can find that film just doesn't have. So if you combine the two, then you can do anything. You're like God of whatever world you create. So that's awesome. Also, in terms of kids' stories and like childish stuff, I think there's a lot of very simple wisdom to be found in a child's story, in a children's book, in a children's animation. There's like simple truths about life that you can glean from it, that you can't, the R-rated film or any film. Films are very, they depict the kind of bitter, tormented internal life of whatever the creator sees. And it's kind of generally sort of bitter and maybe nihilistic in its own way. Whereas animation tries to capture like something beautiful in life. It tries to teach you important, like uplifting life lessons. So I think there's something to be said for animation and children's stories, and children's animations.
What makes you also count it as film, or to you does the medium not matter more about the story?
Story comes first. Everything else is a means to an end.
That's it, I'm the same.
Yeah.
My dad's kind of like for some reason he can't watch animation, though he does like The Incredibles and The Simpsons, but most things he does, for some reason he says his brain doesn't, something about his brain, I don't know exactly what it is, but he just doesn't watch animation. Even the animation's got to the point where there's some like really good adult stuff and some really good stuff out there that,
weird.
Like there's stuff out there like Invincible and Soul, which are just genuinely good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's missing out on some like genuine wisdom. Like he's missing out on a learning opportunity because you can learn through stories. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
The stories are like, I don't know, wisdom that learning from seeing the world through the eyes of a different person. So you're missing out on seeing a whole different perspective in the world just because of a bias towards a style.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I listened to a podcast a long time ago with Brad Bird. He's the guy who directed The Incredibles and Ratatouille.
Oh, yeah?
He also does a lot of stuff, but that doesn't matter. And he said cartoons were never designed in mind for kids.
Yeah, no.
He said it's just that like the original Looney Tunes and that kind of stuff were never they're never made in a way that they're exactly for adults. So it came to the point where they just needed something to put in front of kids.
Yeah.
So they did. So then they're like, well, we have this cartoon, let's just put it in front of kids. And then he said more of that just happened to be
that makes sense.
Made for kids.
Yeah.
Because something like the Flintstones was never really designed for kids. Like, why would kids want to watch a show about an unhappy family?
Exactly. It makes sense. In fact, I think animation sort of started on the propaganda side in terms of like indoctrinating people during the war. As far as I'm aware, I might be wrong on that, correct me. I didn't study animation and I have no qualification under that saying that, but as far as I know, animation had a lot to do with propaganda. It was cheap propaganda because they couldn't afford to film everything, so they animated it for TV. And as far as I know, that was one of its origins, which is then definitely meant for adults.
Apparently the Flintstones is quote unquote the reason that you get that stigma of cartoons are for kids, because you used to use the Flintstones in ads for cigarettes, and then it went to cereal.
Hectic. What a transition.
Yeah.
Oh, the irony. Yeah, interesting. Damn.
I like it that you don't keep it as childish things.
Yeah, same. I respect that.
Also, a lot of adult animation is getting much better because
Absolutely.
back in the day, every adult show that come out was either trying to be the next Simpsons or the next Family Guy.
Yeah,
Because they're like, these work, kids like it, and adults like it. So that's how this works.
I mean, Rick and Morty, Love, Death and Robots, very not for kids in any respect.
Kids watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Hell, A Midnight Gospel, amazing series.
I can't watch that.
You can't watch it. Exactly.
Animation.
Adult
that show
animation.
confused my head because it's a podcast.
Yeah.
It's based on this comedian's podcast, but the visuals are so crazy and they're keeping the sound effects in and all this.
I thought it was
got a bit too crazy for my brain.
Yeah, it was clever. It was quite experimental. I see what they were trying to do with it, and I like what they were trying.
Yeah, I appreciate the creativity. It's just
yeah. I have mixed feelings about Joe Rogan, but otherwise.
Why do you have mixed feelings about him?
I don't know. Something sus about him.
I'm starting to also like him less and less.
Yeah.
I used to like him. Like he's one of the reasons I started a podcast.
I distrust anybody who proclaims to have any semblance of enlightenment. It's dodgy to me. Enlightenment is a lie. Wisdom is, for me, drudging up the past and then painting a pretty fresh layer on it and presenting it for more than it's worth. I don't believe in advice, wisdom, enlightenment, knowledge. I think anybody who claims to be wise I don't trust them. Some people know things that other people don't, but anybody who claims to be on a deeper quest for knowledge, I don't trust.
Claims to be the best.
Yeah, I don't like people like that. I don't know. All I see is narcissism when I look at people like Joe Rogan. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole different matter.
One thing I've noticed about him is he's kind of like, my point is the best point.
Yeah.
Like he does let his guests say and have their opinion, but he'll always go back to like what he's saying is the right thing.
Exactly. And like, what makes you think you know better than anybody else? You've been alive for the same amount of time, and you've done most of the same things. Yeah. You're sorry, dude. You're not that smart because no humans are particular. People are stupid. Sorry. You're also stupid. And also the pseudo-spiritual stuff, I'm not convinced on. I don't know.
But he does have some good qualities.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
He's a very good interviewer.
He's very good with people.
Yeah.
He's an expert conversationalist. I'm not that great of a conversationalist.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Doing this podcast helps.
Exactly.
But not that well when you have to write down what you're going to ask this. Like, he literally doesn't plan anything.
Yeah, he's amazing. And there's a lot to learn from just his ability to work with people and talk with them and interact with them and bring out interesting things with them, like interesting conversation topics.
Yeah.
Something I would love to learn how to do one day.
What are your thoughts on reboots and remakes? Because that's becoming a very popular and more common thing now than ever.
Yeah, I mean, it is very much like capitalizing on somebody who enjoys something before. It's
good business.
It's good business. I like to call it nostalgia porn because that's what it is. It's like feeding people's inner need to reflect on their existence or the times that were once better. So I can see, I have no problem with it. I mean, what makes money makes money. Film industry is a money-making industry. So long as it doesn't get in the way of creativity, I think it's fine. Each to their own, whatever makes money.
Using these remakes to make money and then find original ideas, then that would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what's happening, especially with these Disney remakes, is they find success and then they just keep doing more and more.
Yeah, that'd be the thing. Also, like, coming up with a new idea isn't that hard.
It's not, but it's hard to come up with a good new idea.
Yeah. But, like, instead of recycling, like, I want to see new things that other people want to remake one day. Eventually we're going to run out of things to remake. And then there'll be no original
remake
people.
The remakes.
Exactly. Just come up with an original idea. It's not that hard.
No, it's just they don't have instant success.
Yeah, exactly. You have to work a little harder.
There are some good, with the Disney remakes, there are some good ones. Like, I like the Jungle Book was good because they had a different take on the story.
I loved Mowgli. on Netflix. It was not the live and good.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, it was quite dark and like edgy.
Yeah, that one was so good.
Yeah.
And this one came out recently, Cruella.
Cruella. I haven't seen that yet.
You know Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians?
I saw the trailer. I quite liked
it. They made like an origin story of her.
Okay, have you seen it?
Yes.
Yeah, was it any good?
It was really good.
Okay. Cool, that's encouraging.
It was the most not Disney movie.
Okay. Yeah, I was worried about it.
Basically, only the beginning and the end are like normal Disney. The rest of the movie feels like its own thing.
Okay.
It's got a cool style to it. The acting is really good.
Yeah, I mean, that's encouraging. I was worried about it.
It's worth watching.
Like, I was scared they were going to just, like, push political agendas onto it. But, yeah, it's encouraging to see that. I'm going to leave here with a big-ass film list. So I'm excited. Keep me busy for the next week.
Because reboots are kind of different. Because reboots sometimes are bringing something back, but you can't do something new. But sometimes the new can be bad.
In a way, I sort of prefer that. Like, let's see what else you can do with
to try something new.
subject. Yeah.
And it could succeed, it could fail.
Like, I always think of, like, Sherlock Holmes. I don't know why society is so fixated on Sherlock Holmes.
I find it pretty boring.
Yeah, like, oh, he's just a detective dude. But there's so many iterations of Sherlock Holmes. But I find that kind of cool. Like, we have a psychopath version of Sherlock Holmes. He's like a genius psychopath. And then we have our movies.
Netflix is a version by his sister.
Yeah, and she's like a whole different thing. Then you have like the creative genius Sherlock Holmes. And I just find it interesting. Like, people are as long as they're innovating with the reboots, I like it. I'm down for it. Yeah.
You know, Sherlock Holmes isn't copyrighted.
That's probably why there's so many reboots.
Anyone can make a Sherlock Holmes movie.
I like that.
Because you got the Sherlock series, you have the movies with Robert Downey Jr. There's the comedy version with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
There's Sherlock Gnomes, which is like an animated one, which looks awful, but for some reason, what's his name? The Pirates of the Caribbean guy.
Yeah. Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he's in it for some reason. Probably a good paycheck.
Yeah.
And then there's Enola Holmes about his sister.
Yeah. Which is your favorite?
Which one?
Yeah.
Probably the Robert Downey Jr. movies.
Same. Good stuff. I love that movie.
I haven't seen most of them because I don't really care about the character.
Yeah, same.
He's pretty one note.
Yeah, he's like, okay, smart dude. Who's else?
I like revivals because you're bringing back something, just continuing it.
Yeah.
Like they did with Samurai Jack a few years ago.
I haven't seen that.
It's good.
I've heard it's amazing.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
One of the best animated things ever.
Okay.
Action's amazing. They have like 10-minute scenes in the show where there's like no dialogue.
Yeah. I love that.
And they do stuff where they were like cropped. They keep they keep cropping. What's it called?
Like the aspect ratio.
Yeah, that keeps changing.
Oh damn!
Because
I love that.
they want you. Because they only show you what they want you to see.
That's so cool. Damn, I might have to
It's the most artsy animated thing I've ever seen.
Keep on hearing that it's amazing and just watch it. So I'm gonna have to do that.
It is amazing. Well, that's all my film questions.
Nice.
Let's talk about the drugs.
My drugs. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's do the drugs.
What drug stories do you have to tell?
Many. So I'm not a drug addict anymore. Used to be.
Yeah, anymore.
I'm clean. I've been clean for about probably not even that long, a few months. Massive just life turnaround and stuff. I was on, I don't know, the worst. What kind of drug stories do you want?
I don't know.
We've got good ones, bad ones, ugly ones.
Tell the best good one and the best bad one.
See, let's think of one with a bit of a life lesson to it. On New Year's this year, got spiked with a whole. So it wasn't intentional spiking. I think somebody stuck one type of drug into a Monster Energy drink and gave it to me, and I didn't really think about it. Drank it and then started skipping, and then I completely blacked out. And only the next day I realized somebody was telling me that like all the horrible different drugs I took on that day. Basic moral of the story is don't trust people who give you drinks. Just don't do that because lots of drugs. And also, I don't know. I'm scared to tell drug stories. I don't really want to perpetuate drug use. I'm very much against it. Very, very much against it, especially now that I'm clean. All that I really have to say is just don't do drugs.
Should I cut this part out?
No, keep it in.
Okay.
It's good. I started doing the whole like smoke weed with a friend occasionally. That was fun.
So you basically use it as a what's the word? A socializing activity.
Started like that, and then it became a case where I was socializing every day, which meant I was smoking every day. And then it became a case of I was just smoking every day, whether I saw people or not. Then I was really depressed, and it became a coping mechanism for my depression. Then it got to the stage where I couldn't get up in the morning without smoking, and I couldn't go through my day without smoking, and I couldn't go to sleep without smoking, and I was smoking like 6-7 times a day until I was just I was living my entire life in a haze, and it wasn't great, and I just wasn't. It was a horrible, depressing, miserable existence that started with the occasional joint with friends. So, yeah, don't go there.
Didn't you make a film about if doing drugs helps with creativity?
Yeah, I made a little short documentary thing. It was one of the, and I was still using them quite a lot. And I filmed it trying to prove that drugs were okay. I think I was trying to validate myself so I could keep on using. Quite a reason to keep on using at the time. And the general consensus, there were a lot of people who said the drugs weren't good and gave you reasons why. I interviewed a bunch of psychologists and nutritionists and all sorts, and a lot of people said they were bad, but the thing that actually made me think was the people who said they were good and the weed users, and they all sounded so hypocritical. And they're also on this whole enlightened spiel where they're trying to justify their actions with wisdom or knowledge. Like they were all just arrogant and they justified everything they did, and it sounded so hypocritical and pathetic. It sounded pathetic. And then I was looking at myself and what I said in the interview, and I was like, wow, this is actually really pathetic. Everything I'm saying is pathetic. It's all trying to justify my actions by pretending I'm smarter than I am, but by pretending they were offering me more than they were. And I was really depressed, and then I tried to commit suicide, and then, and then
I'm glad you still
it was like a turning point, and I am actually pretty happy and fulfilled now that I'm off it, and I'll probably never try it again.
I have known you to try any.
Yeah. So, don't
also,
do
the thing about doing drugs is you kind of just wasting your life.
Absolutely.
Even if you're just smoking, if you're at a event, you always going to be that person who goes outside just to have their cigarette.
Exactly.
And then you're wasting time where you could be having a good conversation or making a new friend or whatever.
It's a really good point. A big thing for me was there was a disconnect between me and the people around me. So I would get high, and then I'd be at a party or something, and I'd get high, and then I just wouldn't interact with people. I'd just vegetate. And it made me feel safe, because again, I'm kind of introverted, so I'm scared of people, actually, a little bit. So I'd vegetate, and I wouldn't have to interact with people. But then I didn't connect with anybody. And then I found myself with no friends because I couldn't connect with people because I was always high. And then when I stopped, I realized, you can connect with people so deeply without it. I appreciate this. This is special to me. I'm connecting with you. I'm getting to know you. This conversation would not happen if I was high. Just wouldn't. I wouldn't be interested,
Well, Joe Rogan was supposed to be on his podcast.
Yeah, and maybe it works for some people. It just doesn't work for me.
He said it helps to have a better conversation, but like you said,
Maybe,
it works for some people, but it doesn't work for others.
Yeah, I feel like I can connect with people much deeper without it, actually. And I'm just speaking from my own experience. I can't say for anybody else. And you? Any drugs? Any experience with drugs? No.
Nope.
What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's not good for you.
Okay, fair enough.
But some people, it helps them.
Yeah.
I don't think weed's that bad.
No. There's definitely some medicinal...
Well, CBD is pretty good for you because they take out the thing that makes you high.
Yeah, I have nothing against CBD. I think CBD is great. I even use CBD stuff. And that's calming. It's good for you, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're in a band.
I'm in a band as of recently. Started drumming, and
I almost started drumming.
Yeah, you must still. It's very
Yeah, well,
fun.
my main problem is I'm doing the lessons to learn.
Yeah.
But I have no need to join a band.
Yeah.
Because all I want to do is just mess around and have some fun.
Fair enough.
But the problem is, besides the lesson, I don't have a drum kit.
Exactly.
And drums are expensive.
So
and noisy, and people are going to moan in the house.
Yeah, the neighbors hate you. Also, there's a global rule that I was taught as a kid. It's like, for girls, never date the drummer in a band. And I'm the drummer in a band, which means I don't have a girlfriend. I'm sure that's not why, but
ladies, you're single.
I'm single, and I drum in a band, so don't date me.
There's some famous drummers out there that try to get girls.
I'm sure. I'm just not one of them.
You're not famous yet.
Not yet.
What's it like being in a band?
Yeah, it's great. All the anger management issues come out in the drum kits. I'm kidding. I don't really have anger management issues. But yeah, it's nice. We just like, I don't think we'll ever intend to like play properly or like do concerts. It's a garage band. We just jam and it's fun. Cool. It's a good way of connecting with people if you know what you're talking.
Do you make original songs or you just play like any song you like?
I don't. The lead singer does, Chris. He's a really amazing writer. He writes a song and then I just drum to it. So I don't do much of the writing, yeah.
You have a thing about dissing skaters.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect skaters. I low-key hate skaters too. They're so angsty.
Yeah, what's your deal with skaters? And you have a weird obsession with Avril Lavigne. Every time I hang out with you, she gets mentioned one way or another.
I like Avril Lavigne, what can I say? And, like Avril Lavigne, I knew some skater boys, and I said to say later boy to them because they weren't good enough for me. Now they're superstars, strumming on their guitar. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Rocking it on MTV.
There we go. Yeah, he knows the lyrics. Yeah, I still was hang out with the skater crowd for a little bit. Used to skate. It's one of the reasons why I started doing drugs. I was very angsty. I was a very angsty teenager. I was very moody and full of shit. Yeah. And now I can make fun of myself as being one of those angsty skater kids who were once angsty skater kids. Which means I'm allowed to make fun of the skateboarders.
Do you actually hate it or you just like dissing it?
I like making fun of skaters because they're so angsty.
I know your friends are skaters like Ethan Isaacs.
Most of my friends are skaters. I grew up in the skater crowd. I just like making fun of them because they're so angsty. They try so hard. But yeah, no, I have no problem with skaters. They're just amusing to bully.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
I used to hate the song Skater, whatever it's called, Skater.
Low-key, me too.
For the longest time, I thought she was dissing skaters. Meanwhile, she's not.
I never thought about it that much until I was really high.
It's just a love story that involves a skater.
Yeah. I was really high once and it came on in a club in Stellies.
What a weird song to play.
It was the first time I ever enjoyed it, and I was with a bunch of skaters, and they all were very excited about it, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll be excited about it too. And then, yeah, loved Avril Lavigne ever since. I guess. Well, why you gotta go and make things so complicated? Love that song. Let's go.
But why do you like bringing up, like, you'll say random stuff like, I'm gonna go home and listen to Avril Lavigne and have a proper cry?
It's just edgy. It's like 90s try-hard skater boys. It's like, I'm gonna go home and make things complicated. I'm gonna be edgy and date a skater boy. And, so edgy. Hand gestures of edge. I'm gonna smoke my joint and wear a crop top. Yeah.
I was chatting about this song recently because it got stuck in my head for like a week.
It will do that.
Because it was going all over Instagram. Because Avril Lavigne started trending again. Because she made a video with Tony Hawk.
Oh shit. Okay.
And Tony Hawk actually kind of dissed the video.
Nice.
He was like, the video that gets 6 million views is the one where I do the easiest tricks.
Didn't she marry Nickelback, or am I thinking of somebody else?
All I know is she dated the lead singer of Sub 41.
Oh jeez. Yeah, wow. What a career.
Well, there's a funny fact about the song I know.
Oh yeah?
There was plans to make a movie about the song.
Oh, wow.
But they got cancelled like most.
I'm so glad that I would not want to see that movie. I probably would see the movie. I would need to. How can you not
see it to diss it?
Exactly. Like, the same reason why I hang out with skater kids. I see them to diss them.
You don't diss me?
No, you're a special kind of skater kid. You're cool. I mean, a lot
he
of them
was
are
a
cool.
skater boy.
She said, "See you later, boy." He wasn't good enough for her.
Hey, you missed my version.
I'm sorry. Let's go.
Did you say I was a good cunt? So I was like, he was a skater boy. I said, come over here, boy.
Ooh, woo. Romantic plot twist.
Romantic plot twist. I'm gonna see if I can find the.
I'm sorry, I need to stop.
So you don't hate skaters, you like making fun of them?
Yeah, I love skaters. Without skaters in my life, who would I have to make fun of?
I don't know.
Yeah, Ethan Isaacs, if you're watching this, even
sure.
the longboarders, the downhills, Jared Bray, love you. Isaac,
Ethan
I have
Isaac
no problem with you. Mally, you're sick.
This is what you did with Tony Hawk. It was to launch a TikTok.
Oh no.
I'm gonna play it up a bit, turn up a little bit. Wait, no, I want full screen.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, he's doing nothing. He's just vibing.
That's probably like the best trick. There you go.
It's so cheesy, I love it.
Yeah, that's what Tony Hawk did.
Damn.
And it went viral.
I mean, yeah, I guess, like, people are weird.
People are like, this is the collab we've been waiting for.
Yeah. Not all you need is the movie.
There's another song about skateboarding by a rap group called Lupe Fiasco.
Never heard of them.
I only know one of their songs, which is the skate one.
Mm.
And in my opinion, it's the best skate song.
Okay, we're gonna have to hear it.
Yeah.
After this movie, after this podcast.
Last question. Dun, dun,
dun.
dun.
I've made a weird vampire song, I'm sorry.
I got told you kind of involved in starting the longboarding scene in Capri. Correct
yes.
or incorrect?
I mean, not really starting. I was there. I was friends with the people who started it. That being like the Shine Boys and their whole crowd. And I was just kind of there and skated while they were skating. I was always carpet skating. I was never that good at it. But I know the guys who started it, which means that there are a few people who have understood me as being one of the starting people. I wasn't. I was just like in the crowd when it was starting, and I saw it all happen. It was kind of cool to see it all come together. It wasn't me who started it. I just know the people who started it. Yeah. It wasn't my fault all the angsty skaters are around. I had nothing to do with that. I didn't create the angsty skate culture.
I know a lot of the people who are part of that crew, the Capri Free Riders.
Yeah, they were called the
Capri Free Riders.
Yeah, before that they were called the Tobago Boarders because they all skated up and down Tobago Road in Capri.
A lot of those guys actually put in enough to get sponsored.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them, I don't think half of them do it anymore. They're all like missionary kids, and then they
a lot
left
of them
the
went
country.
to street skating.
Yeah. So.
Because the thing with longboarding is, you go down the hill, you do a slide, that's about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you wanted to get different, you have to, like we've said about other things, you just got to up yourself to bigger hills.
It's very carnal. It's like.
And then it's kind of repetitive.
Yeah, it's like, let's climb on this big wooden thing with wheels on it, and let's roll down this hill as fast as we can, and whoever rolls down the hill the fastest is cooler than the other people. Yeah, very carnal, you baboon people. That's why they're called baboon boards. You bunch of baboons, animals, carnal-natured fools who lack the intellectual superiority of us enlightened folk. I sound like Joe Rogan.
Well, the people I knew from there was Cam Adams.
Yeah, I like to have
Ruben Phillies.
Ruben Phillies.
I had Ruben on my podcast.
Oh, nice.
I knew Ricky.
Oh, Ricky. I love
so,
Ricky. Ricky's
so,
cool. Ricky Raven.
Ethan Isaacs and...
Yeah. See if you can get Ethan Isaacs on a podcast. He's really cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's a nice guy. I'm sure he'll join. He'll be stoked to hear.
What's their name? There's someone else. Oh, I knew Sam.
Sam Shine. Sam
But
Shine.
most of those guys, I didn't know them when they were actually in the crew. Besides Cam.
Yeah.
I met them after they were like, long ways lame, let's go trick skating.
Yeah. So I think the main guy who actually started it was Mike Shine.
Right.
Sam Shine's
I also knew
brother. And then
guy,
Sam took it over.
I also knew this guy, Mark something.
Mark. He was my neighbor growing up.
He was a filmer.
Yeah.
I knew him from skating.
He's got a big beard now. Yeah. Mark Callahan.
Callahan, that's his name.
Like Mark Callahan.
He
freaking nerd.
There's a skate park where the Checkers is now used to be.
Yeah.
And he used to hang out there and film everyone, so he used to take so many photos of me.
Yeah, no, he's cool, I like him. He's a loser, but I like him.
He hurt his ankle on the mini ramp there where his ankle went sideways.
Oh shit.
And after that I don't think he went back to trick skating.
Damn.
And then he came a bit when he was still injured and he took photos. And then one day we just ended up seeing him with longboarders. Yeah,
he kind of moved to the longboarding crowd with the whole baboon boards and ground swell and that. Oh, I hate downhill boarders. Screw you people. At the same time, know that I'm just making fun of you because he's fun to be made fun of.
Yeah, because he was a skater boy and he said, see you later, boy.
I said, see you later, boy, to all you losers. Stinky, ankly poop faces. Oh, what's that smell? Do I detect a hint of skater? Gross.
I smell a hint of parkourer.
I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
I'm leaving then.
Yeah, that was nice. Alright. Was that the last question?
Unless I can make up a random question, but I think we've gone for an hour and a half.
Alright. Do you think we should end on the Skater Boy song?
I don't know.
Are you sure? I'm down to listen to a bit of Avril Lavigne. I love Avril Lavigne.
Was your crush growing up?
My childhood crush. I don't know. I never really had one growing up. I honestly don't know the answer to that question.
I know who mine was.
Who was yours?
Selena Gomez, because she was in
hell yeah!
Because she was on a Disney show.
She was way too hot. I love Selena Gomez. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of pretty actors out there, but I also don't know my actors very well.
You should. Actually, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I really should.
But we're done here.
Nice.
Anything you want to shout out?
Can I just shout out?
What, people...
Okay, we're good. I feel that was cathartic. I needed that.
I thought you would be a normal person to shout out like your Instagram or...
There's nothing really to see on my Instagram. It's pretty boring. I just post birthday pictures and videos for people whose birthdays it is. Yeah. Go check out your mom. I don't have anything to see.
What's your Instagram name?
Ryan Hunter Gordon. I'm not a Fortnite gamer. My middle name is Hunter. It's not like I'm Hunter636, the Fortnite gamer. That's just my middle name. Yeah.
Go Fortnite if you want to see birthday pictures.
Yeah. You'll see a whole lot of birthday pictures.
Where can people watch your films? What is it? Because, that's probably most
City's Varsity website. Or there's a YouTube channel where they post all my short films. They're all actually pretty much it's my producer's YouTube channel, so it's basically just for my short films. So I should know the name of the YouTube channel.
Send me the link and I'll link it in the description.
I don't know what it is. I'll send you the link.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it.
Cool. Thank you for the interview. I enjoyed it. It was great.
You're welcome. Was I the first person to ever interview you?
No, but it was the most fun, definitely.
I feel like podcasting is the future of interviewing.
Definitely, yeah.
Because the old way is, like with news shows, they have so much to do. So when they interview someone, they're basically just there to promote whatever they're going to promote, and you actually don't learn about the person. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think news is... Nobody watches the news anymore as well, honestly. Podcasts are far more intimate. Yeah.
And entertaining.
People
like listening to them because they can listen to them in their home, in the car.
Exactly.
On the toilet.
I'm going to watch this when it's out while pooping. I look forward to it. You'll release your video, I'll be like, cool, I'm going to go poop now. I'll watch it. So.
Yeah. we're done. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and that's all I gotta say.
Post.
Peace.
Video. Peace. Yeah.
He was a skateboarder.
She said to you later, boy, he wasn't good.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Bye.